Hey folks, MACT back in this fine August 2nd, and just gonna jump on here and see if there's anybody alive. I've been chatting back and forth, talking to folks here on the Facebook group, so I thought I'd check and see what's going on. Before I start jumping in here, let me see if I can't turn the sound off. That way we don't hear any echoes, because that notoriously will happen. But let's see, we got one person jumping in already, so that's always a good thing. I am coming to you from Cedar Falls, Iowa. Been here in the hotel and of course doing my regular job, going through, and I will tell you, I've had a pretty good week. I've made some good headway on a few things, so that makes me happy. But again, I'm still away from the family, so I'm heading home tomorrow, but I do have to do some work first before I can, and then after that I will be home for the weekend, all to do it all over again. But what kind of projects are you all working on? We got folks we see here are starting to tear their transmission out due to a torque converter problem. Got some other folks doing some other work on their edges, taking out the TSS, OSS sensor. There's always somebody doing that. Poor first gen 2007 through 2008, that's always a problem. And then had a couple, one guy mentioned a valve cover, a couple of hits and misses on the old coils and plugs, and some other things that are going on. We have a birthday boy that turned, I don't know how old he is. Some say he's older than dirt. Some say he's around when the Ark was built, but we don't know. But anyway, he moved from Oklahoma to Missouri, so you guys might know who he is. But if you get a chance, give him a slap on the back, tell him happy birthday, because he is a year older than he was. So as with all things, one foot in the grave, one foot on the outside, right? So we keep moving forward, and that's all we can do. But anyway, happy birthday, Jan. Okay. May other years be more better for you. Yes, may they be better for you. We all wish for good years, so that's always a good thing. But happy birthday anyway. As far as what's been going on in the group, all sorts of things have been happening and keeping everybody busy, and that's really what it is. I had the video that I put out. Hey Jimmy, how you doing? Thought I'd give you a, I gave you a little. Okay, how you doing, Jimmy? Seeing all sorts of things going on here. My laptop is not running very good. Holy cow! Maybe that's part of the problem. But anyway, got here some folks on, and just let me know what if you want to discuss something, let's pop it up here and go over it. I do want to start out that I have been waiting for a while, and I do know it's probably been out in the interweb here floating around, but it's been very hard to figure it out. So let's go over Ford Edge transmissions. Yeah, buddy, we're having fun with that. And let's see, what was it? First gen, we started out with the old 6F50. That was that 6-speed automatic transmission, the slush box that it is, yes. And that thing was and is still a slush box, but it has been a physically good transmission. Okay, not much has been going on with it. There's occasional things that happen, but most of it has been electronic, TSS, OSS, in the first 2007 through 2008. After that, the transmission has been doing pretty good. It takes a lot of abuse, and it's a fine transmission, reliability-wise, okay? There have been far worse transmissions than the 6F50. So the 6F50 has served Ford well, and the Ford Edge for that matter. And that was hunkering around down there from 2007 through 2010. The 6F50 was around, and then they decided they wanted to up it one. And then the 1.5 gen came around, and they had the 6F50. But I believe they then popped in the through the 6F50. The 6F55 started popping up about 2015 with the 2.7 liter twin turbo EcoBoost. Okay, so the 3.7 was added along with the 3.5, and they kept the same 6F50 transmission. I could be wrong, but I think I'm square on the money here yet. Anyway, what does that stand for? 6F50. Huh. Well, 6 means 6-speed transmission. I'm going to go out on a limb and say F means Ford. Okay? Pretty simple. 6F. Pretty innocuous number. It's just basically the number of the transmission gears, and it's a Ford transmission. Now, when we come into the 50, as I found in research and talking to people and chatting, the 50 would stand for pound-feet of torque that the transmission is rated for. Okay. Now, none of the engines put that much torque out, per se. But whenever you engineer something, you don't want to engineer it so if the pound-foot torque on the engine is say 300 pound-feet, and then you build your transmission to 300 pound-feet, well, that ain't a smart way to do things, okay? Because that means failure. So, they always want to have, I think engineering-wise, what is it they say that they'd rather have 50%, but I think 25% error rate. In other words, 25% more than what it is rated for. Than the power plant put with it. So the transmission should be able to handle 25% more than the engine can put out. That would be reliability reasons. So some go with that. So the 50 was 500. Then they came out with the 55 was 550 pound-feet of torque, and now they got what they call the newest transmission for the Gen 2.5 is what I really want to call it, but it's still a Gen 2, I guess. Not anything big, but for 2019, I'm calling it a 2.5 because there are some changes. They're marrying that power plant up there with the the new transmission, the new 8-speed that originally was going to be a 9-speed, but Ford said that nixay on that. We're going to get rid of that extra weight because having a 9th gear means nothing and adds weight, and there's really a negligible difference to cause for more complicated transmission. So GM proceeded on with the 9-speed, and Ford evoked their right to bring it down to an 8-speed, and they went with that. So now they call this now an 8F57. Now 57 would stand to be 570 pound-feet of torque that this transmission can handle, which is more than enough space for the 2.7 Ford Edge ST. Okay, it can handle it. There's not a problem. It's going to handle it because the ST in its native format cannot override the transmission as it's rated. It doesn't put out that much torque, but it puts out a fair amount, so that will cause a problem in the process. But then we have all the 2-liter EcoBoost engines, and if you got a 2-liter EcoBoost, you do not get a 6F50, you do not get a 6F55, you do not get a 6F or 8F57. Okay, you don't get it. You get an 8F35. That's right. Okay, for the new 2019 transmission is going to be an 8F35. They didn't go from that. It used to be the 6F35, and essentially they did very little but other than add gears. That's right. So those of you who have a Ford Edge with a 2.0-liter turbo EcoBoost, guess what? You're running pretty much the same transmission as in the Ford Escape. That's what you got. That means, of course, your torque on the 35 is 350 foot-pounds of torque. So that puts you out there, which also causes you trailer towing issues and all this other good stuff. But hey, that's what you get. Got a lighter transmission. Why did they not marry it up to the 8F57? Well, we talk about bell housing and engine size. You go from a 4-cylinder V6. You got design issues and essentially redesigning a transmission to fit a 4-cylinder. And they already got the 6F35. It's already made it up to the 2.0 turbo, so they just added the gears to it and kept the same physical shape, size with minimal tooling. Thus, they ended up with the 8F35 for the 2.0 EcoBoost for the Ford Edge. Excuse me. Now that that pretty much runs that story down. So now we all know what the transmission is for the 2019, and that will only be available in the Sport. So that means if you're driving a titanium SEL or SE, guess what? Yep, that's right. You're running the 6F30 or 8F35. That's all you're getting out of that for your nickel. So if you want to have the bigger transmission and the bigger engine, the only choice you have is to buy the ST. That's it. That's all you got. You know, there's nothing else that you can get. So the rest of the model line will only carry that. Now, rumor mill, okay, rumor has it, and that was discussing with one of our good buddies here on the forum, is there are a couple other Lincoln models out there that are toting the 3-liter turbo. Yes. Now the MKZ has a 3-liter turbo, and another Lincoln. And here's the deal: that may bleed down into the Edge. Will the Edge and will Ford end up putting the 3-liter twin turbo in the Ford Edge ST in future models? Don't know. Will they end up putting the 2.7 EcoBoost twin turbo in the titanium and then leaving with the SE and SEL with the 2-liter turbo? Or will they make it an option for the titanium? You never know. Weird things happen. But hey, let's see what we can get out of this and find out what's going to happen in the future so that we can do that. How you doing, Billy Young? Demarius, how you all doing? Let's see. Mano's on there. Jimmy, Gary, how you doing? Oh, excuse me. Got a little bit of dust storm here, I think. But anyway, let's see. What do we got? Billy, Demarius, Billy Young. Let's see. I can't tow bass boat. Great. Can't tow your bass boat. Well, depends on how much. I don't know how much a bass boat weighs. How much does a bass weigh? I don't know. But if you know, here's the deal: if you're gonna tow with your Ford Edge, if it came with a tow hitch from the factory, key point factory installed, then you got about 3,500 pounds of tow capacity. If you went to U-Haul and had one installed, you got 2,000 pounds of tow capacity. Plain and simple. That's all you get. Either or. And there's a lot of tow restrictions on the Edge. It's not necessarily a tow vehicle. Nah, that was an afterthought. Ford's just trying to sell you something, but I would not consider the Ford Edge a true tow vehicle. I've never towed anything with my Edge. I tow with my pickup truck. Yes, my mighty Ford Ranger can handle it with all 95 horsepower to boot, or 103 horsepower, whatever it is it has. Let's see. Got Steven. He says he's got a problem with his 16 UK spec TDCI. You guys know what TDCI is, right? Yeah, that's a turbo diesel, right? So he had an issue with that, and it started today. It starts up with no issues, but it is throwing up the amber green line. I don't have OBD scanners it could take to make a negative terminal of the reset system, or should I just leave it and contact the dealer? Well, you know what? If you are under warranty, which is probably about right there, Steven, I would take it under warranty to them and have them check it out. Use the warranty, buddy. You know, why go through all this mess when you can use the warranty to have it repaired? So if it's a 16, I'm thinking you still have at least one more year in your warranty. So I would definitely go and have them check that thing out on that turbo diesel. But you'd have to start down. You always start out fuel, air, spark, right? That's always where you start. So you got to start making that and find out what the code is. And you didn't state any code there for a you know, diagnostic trouble code. So you know, without knowing what the diagnostic trouble code is, it's hard to guess. I could guess and be completely wrong. So you might want to take and get that checked out and get that code for us. Let's see. Yep, Billy. I don't know how much your bass boat weigh anyway. How much the trailer weigh? What's the combo weight on that thing? Is it over 3,000 pounds? How can a big old heavy boat float anyway? Is the question. Hey Lego, how you doing? I'm gonna wave at you all here. There you go, waving at everybody, saying hi and all that good stuff. Huh? What else we got here? Yeah, going back to that the transmission thing. I think we got it pretty much squared away as far as our transmissions go. Um, the uh, the transmission, I look forward to driving at 8 speed someday. Um, you know, I gotta get other things squared away. Like all you guys, we all have budgets. I gotta stay within budget. And you did see that I did make one little short announcement. By September 1st, I should have Lou free and clear of jail. That's right. Lou will not be owned by anybody but me. As long as I keep paying the registration, I'll keep owning it, I guess, and driving it. But Lou is going to be paid off about the 1st of September, which means when I go to the MACT Ford Edge group meet in Rochelle, Illinois, I will have hopefully the title in my hand. That means I will be the owner, and the bank will not say anything about it. Not that they'd want Lou anyway with almost 250,000 miles on it. It's like, keep it. We don't want it. This thing's not worth anything. But but anyway, Lou will be mine free and clear. So Rufus and Lou will join the envelope of titles. That's right. Title, the keeper of the titles will have both Rufus and Luke. So that too, both vehicles, of course, paid off, which is always a great thing. And if you can get your vehicle paid off, more power to you. It takes a lot of work, a lot of effort, a lot of concentration to make sure you budget it out to be able to do that. I was lucky enough to be able to get there, and bless everybody that is around. I was able to do it. I got a lot of help in what I do. My boss helps me out, a little bit towards vehicles. So it all helps, and you gotta just apply and make it all work, and pay the bills, right? You gotta do it. But I will tell you, I did pay it off in about half the time that I actually owed. So definitely accelerated schedule. But I usually get my loans to the point where I have longer to pay, but I never pay the full term. I always pay them off early. Uh, it gives you peace of mind to know if you have financial issues that you can fall back. So if you can, pay ahead 2 or 3 months. If you get into hard times, you can skip the payment, but always pay ahead and keep paying ahead, and then eventually you get ahead to the point where you take a 72-month loan and turn it into 39 months or something like that. Okay, pay it off. Be smart with your money. That's what you got to do, and save the nickels here and there and pay them off, and make sure you designate it that way, and then you get it paid off. And my next car is Blueberry, and Blueberry will enjoy the same fate because how you doing, Steven? Blueberry is my next target. Blueberry is going to be paid off this time next year is my goal. Blueberry will be paid off. I will have no cars that I owe payments on. And that's a good feeling. It's also a lot more money in your pocket too. So, but then again, I'm just in time to have to start buying another car, ain't I? Holy cow. I will tell you that eventually I will get another car. I just got to get these paid off. That's really what it comes down to. So next year, if everything works out, I'll be looking for another car. And I say car. What am I going to get? What do you guys think I'm going to get? Should I get should I go buy a used Ford Edge first gen 2007? I don't think so. Been through the first gen already. I'm not going back. I did everything I was going to do with that. And my neighbors will shoot me if I start piling up cars around the street. They're already getting mad about Rufus. But anyway, I'll definitely always try to go up a generation when I buy cars. So a second gen is probably going to be where it's at. It's going to be used. And if I have anything to say about it, it's going to be something that's going to be something I can make videos on. That's for sure. So I gotta jump into the EcoBoost situation. That's all there is to it. So eventually that will happen, and that is what I'm going to do. Let's see. Okay, Steven, you enjoy Popeyes. Let's see. Jimmy Gary, I have 100 hours on my 14 3.5, mostly city driving. Should I change the oil now or have a Blackstone kit currently testing, uh, or or have a Blackstone kit? I guess he wants to know if he should test it with a Blackstone kit. Now he's currently using Mobile One. He's using Mobile One. Oh no, Mobile One. Mobile One. Oh, Jimmy, I can't fault you for oil. It's all your decision. We know that. Let's see. You got 100 hours on the oil. Here, Jimmy, here's what you need to understand. You're running that Mobile One in there. It doesn't matter. It's synthetic oil. It's not the best, but it's synthetic. Um, if you got 100 hours on it and you're saying you're mostly city driving, 100 hours, here's the deal. My wife would drive the Edge and park it and idle the engine for an hour and a half every day. An hour and a half. Driving very slow and just a little bit of city. We're talking 25 mile an hour. I changed it 100 hours. That's what I did. But if you're moving faster through the city, say doing 35, 45 mile an hour and moving and doing other stuff, you could very well go to about 150 hours, 125 hours, okay? But here's the thing. You don't know what your oil's doing now. You don't know where it's at. So to do oil testing now would be a prudent way to determine where is the sweet spot for your driving. Because every one of you drive differently. So I would say if you wanted to err on the side of things, get a quick sample now, have it tested, keep driving the oil you got. When you get the test back, they will tell you, hey, you can keep driving or you need to change the oil. I'm willing to bet they're going to say you can keep driving more miles and shoot up to 150 hours. Okay? That's what I'm willing to say they're going to say. But you won't know unless you test. And all my oil testing has been through trial and error of testing 100,000 miles of engine use, 100,000 miles of oil to determine the hours that are best for my wife's Edge and for my Edge. So 200 hours has always been mine. And here lately, 200 hours for Lou has really been out of necessity because Lou has used well over a quart of oil. So instead of having 6 quarts in it, I only got 5 or 4.5 quarts because Lou's been using oil because of the oil valve cover and all that other stuff. So going on, but test the oil to see where you're at to determine do you need or can you go, say, another 25 to 50 hours. I wouldn't go 200 hours unless you're driving a lot more than I think you are. So, but all mine are based on highway miles for 200 hours. And I get good test result back. So that ought to tell you something right there. Whatever you do, folks, do not ever put a 0W20 oil in your Duratec or your EcoBoost. Don't do it. Never, ever, ever don't do it. Okay? I had engine metal higher readings with 0W20. And it was an AMSOIL oil. Okay? But I'm going to say any 0W20. Don't do it. So, that's my 2 cents on the 020s. I just wouldn't do that. Let's see. What are you switching to? Royal Purple? Jimmy, if you're going to switch to Royal Purple, switch to Royal Purple HPS, buddy. Not the regular Royal Purple. That didn't turn out too well in the testing. But the Royal Purple high performance street oil. Yes, that will be your good oil. That is definitely in the top as far as oils go. So if you want to have the best, do that. Otherwise, I would say do either the O'Reilly or you can jump into the, the Castrol Edge oil or Pennzoil. Those were ranked pretty good up there, I think. Schaefer's and all that stuff. But, those are in there. Go to the MACT Garage website, MACTgarage.com, and check out the oil analysis. Check out which oils are rated at what levels, and then you'll know which ones are the top 3 off-the-shelf oils and then the top 3 oils. Okay, 2 different oils or 2 different classifications there. But I would, and you guys know that I'm a big proponent of the Purolator Boss filter. Tore it apart. I've looked on the inside. I've looked in the inside of the Motorcraft, and I've seen the inside of the other oil filters too. And I'm going to tell you, I'm sold on the Purolator. They got that membrane on the inside. That thing is a full synthetic material, and it weighs in. It's sturdy, it's heavy, and it's built tough. So I'm sticking with that. And why do I do it? Because I stick with the Purolator Boss, because I do all my oil testing. I got to have a standard filter that I'm testing with, and the Purolator Boss has never had any soluble issues of anything getting through. So therefore, I stick with that as my test bed oil filter. That way everything is consistent. The only thing that changes is the oil. The filter remains the same. So we got good results going that way. Let's see. We got Gary Royal Purposes. Thanks. And he's going to try to do what I'm doing for maintenance. So, you know, hey, I'm just telling you what works for me. You guys make your own decisions. You're all big people. You make your decisions. I just try to provide data, you know, and then along with a little bit of opinion with it, I'm going to say. But data is definitely what you really want to go with here, and understand that it's hard to argue with data. It's either is or it isn't, one of the two. And my oil series was based entirely on data. So therefore, there wasn't really an opinion involved in it to any you know, diametrically opposed point on it. It's just what it is. Okay. You know, same thing as my videos. I make my videos. You guys might think they're long, and they may be. The motor mount video, I will try to release a. I don't know if you guys know this, but I release my long videos on MACTFORDEDGE. Okay. If you didn't know this, the long videos are on MACTFORDEDGE YouTube. The short videos that I condense and cut and chop and make them into like 6 minutes are on MACT Garage. Okay, they're straight to the point, no talking, vroom vroom, screws come off, boom, bang, you know, Bob's your uncle, it's done in 6 minutes. Okay, no big detail. Yeah, a lot of details lost, a lot of movements are lost, but you get the idea on how to do it. That is on MACT Garage YouTube. Okay, that is my channel that I have. That's a secondary channel that, believe it or not, I get nothing out of that channel. It is not monetized, so you know, all I can do is ask you guys to join that and subscribe and watch the videos. But that's all I can do to try to make the channel do something. If I get over 1,000 subscribers, then I have a chance to monetize it. Okay, but otherwise it's just free videos, free work for YouTube with no gain for me. So, you know, that's just the way it is. You know, you may see ads on it, but you won't see me, you know, getting anything out of the deal. So that's just the way it is. But the short videos are on there, and that's how I do that. I'm glad you guys like the Boss filter. I like the Boss filter. And it can be found fairly inexpensive online. They have it on sale. Sometimes they have coupons with it. You just need to know when to buy it, and then you can get those coupons and everything else and come out on it. One thing that I don't know if you all get the same thing I get, but I'm Amazon business. I'm not Amazon personal account. So some of the prices I got are business prices. Whether that's good or bad, I don't know, but I'm business price on that. So we just keep moving forward on that. What else we got going on? We know we talked about the oil. I will give you an update. I haven't checked it here lately. I got about 85 hours on the oil change. I checked it earlier and it was full at about, I don't know, 65, 70 hours, I think it was. I checked the oil level on Lou, and it was still full, right up to the top of the hash marks. So, you know, I got about 85 hours now. I'll check it again at 100. If it's still full at 100, we may be onto something here. If it's still full at 150, then we're really onto something. So we're going to see how much oil is coming out of Lou through that valve cover. And if I can make it to 200 hours and lose 1/4 of a quart of oil or less, then we know the fix is in, because I have never been able to do that for a long, long time. Lou has always used a quart of oil or more during testing because of the valve cover. So if that's the case, I will then buy another valve cover and put it on Blueberry, because Blueberry has the same valve cover. So I will toss that on there, and then I will have 2 used valve covers, and I'll do a valve cover issue on it where we show what one looks like that I took off and what one looks like that I cut open, because I did cut Lulu Bell's valve cover apart. Yes, you guys don't see that. You didn't see it, but I did a whole PowerPoint diagram on it, how it flows through the baffles, all this stuff. I did all this. I just haven't published it yet. But what I'd really like to see is what the new one does, and I just don't have the money to buy a new one to rip it apart. You know, YouTube don't pay me that much to do this sort of stuff, so you know I got to be careful with the budget. I can't go buying brand new parts and ripping them apart just to show you guys something that won't, you know, that I won't make any money back. Yeah, it's just throwing money in the trash can at that point. So, but I can show you what the old one looks like. What the new one looks like, I don't know. So we'll just have to leave it at that. But you know, that's working in. I know some of you have rust issues. I have 2 products that I have sitting in my office forever, and I need to get off my behind and get it done. But I need to get out there and start doing the rust proofing that I promised you all that I would do. I'm going to see what time is. The problem is time for me is very, very short. I got, you know, a lot of work I have to do for my real job, and sometimes it bleeds over into the weekends, and then that makes it hard to do everything else, plus family time. And you know, I'm going to say that I have to have family time, and you know, sometimes I'm get misdirected. So you know, I've been trying to do, if you haven't noticed, when I am home on weekends, I'm trying to limit some of my time. So if you see me gone, especially on Sundays, I'm not trying to ignore y'all. I'm making time for family, and you guys should too. Okay, I don't care if there's no activity on a Facebook group on Sunday. You know, I like to see activity, but and I'll get on occasionally when I have time. But there's things that I need to do. So you know, just think of that. You know, time to make sure we have enough time for the ones who fleetingly the time runs out on, right? So there's nothing like today to make sure that you take care of things for family today. And that's all I can say about that. It's, you know, you all got to make your decision, but it's fun if you take the time to make it fun. So anyway, my daughters are growing up before my eyes, and I don't want them to be walking down the aisle and me saying, gosh, what happened? You know, what happened to the time? So it happens quick enough. They start out this big, and then they're like this big, you know, tall, beautiful, wanting to run off and get married and all this other stuff. You know, whoa, what the heck happened there? Anyway, I'm not talking about cars. I'm talking about family, and that's really probably what you don't want to hear. But, you know, it is life, and it is all part of the deal. Farm and Fleet does sell the Purelator Boss filters. Yes, you can get them at a pretty good rate at Farm and Fleet. Let's see. How you doing, Christopher? You got it. You're using it on your Durango too, huh? Yeah, they make them for all vehicles. Let's see. You got Christopher Smith here. He's got them on his Dodge, and I do want to remind you all that You know, I got a lot of folks posting a lot of stuff on the group, and somebody mentioned one time, well, I thought this is just a Ford Edge group. And then people post about Toyota Camrys and post about this, and yeah, yes, it is. But you know what? The sometimes you need a little variety. But I will tell you, if you really want to dive deep into it, I did create the other Facebook group called MACT Garage that is a non-brand garage automotive group. Okay? Non-brand. What that means is if you have a Toyota, if you have a Hummer, if you have a Dodge, if you have a Chevy, if you have whatever you got, you know, if you got a lawnmower, I don't know. You go over there, post everything and anything you want about it. If you are a member of MACT Ford Edge, all you have to do is go over to MACT Garage on Facebook and click join. You will automatically be accepted. You don't have to ask. No waiting. Bang, Bob's your uncle. You're right in there and you're ready to go. Okay? Because if you are a member of MACT Ford Edge Facebook group, you are free to join MACT Garage. And you can post anything about any vehicle that you want to have questions on, or that you're modifying, you're working on, whatever it is. It is an open forum for mechanical repairs, engines, trucks, cars, motorcycles, whatever you want to do. That is what the group is for. So that is what we're really aiming for in that group, is to be all vehicles, a garage to repair anything that needs to be repaired and help others do it. So if you got the knowledge and experience, jump on over there. And you know, as I said, no bashing of anything. Yeah, I'm going to tell you that straight up. No bashing. Help people fix them. That's all it is. You know, all vehicle models have problems and weaknesses, as we all know our Edges do. So, you know, opinions for vehicles are about like motor oil usage, right? Yep, if you think about it, it's about motor oil usage. So, anyway, time for a drink. Ah, good stuff. I bet you guys want to know what I'm drinking too, huh? I am drinking, what is it I'm drinking? Can't remember. Can't remember what it is. No, it ain't that type. It is sparkling ice black raspberry, whatever that is. Don't ask me. I just picked it off the shelf, said it looks good. Anyway, that's what I'm drinking there. And had, my gosh, I had some pizza tonight. Yeah. Don't tell my wife. Shh, I had pizza. She finds that out, I'm in trouble for the rest of the day. Let's see. Kevin says, "Can I post about my woody woodwhacker or chipmunks?" Sure, Kevin, as long as they're mechanical. If they're robotic ones, then post away. If they're little bitty critters, then don't post away. That's all I can tell you there. Let's see who else what else we got. Nobody's saying anything. We've been going in and out, in and out. Hey, how you doing? You're saying how you having a good day? See you joined up here in a group. Glad to see you that you're involved in it and checking things out. You know, what else we got going on here? Gosh, Ford Edge, Lou. I don't know. Like I said, I sort of exaggerated a bit, but truly, you know, I wake up, think, do I have to fix anything on Lou? And the answer is pretty much no. I mean, I bought parts to do videos, but you guys got to understand, the motor mount I changed out didn't need to be changed out. In all reality, I didn't notice anything different. After a few miles, maybe a little less vibration, but it'd be hard to discern that it actually improved anything. So you know, I got the old torque mount to replace, and I got the transmission mount that I'm going to change out. Just out of standard fare on that one. Don't know that I need to do it. Okay, so essentially, I bought the parts to make the videos. you know. But I'm pretty sure the dog bone might need it. Yeah, torque mount, I'm thinking that one might. But I haven't checked it here lately to see how much it's moving. And if it is moving a lot, then it is time to change it, because those are the ones that are notoriously going to be causing torque issues if they get wore out. So I'm going to say that that one probably needs it, because I think I feel it. But we'll go ahead and get that done, and then let's see. I'm still on the original LCAs. I'm thinking one of these days I'll replace those, but I don't feel anything loose. They look good. They're tight. So, roll with it, right? Don't replace those. But, it's really nothing else to do. Standard fare. I should probably replace the brakes eventually, but those are still good too. Yeah, really, folks, 245,000 miles. What do you say? Most of you are going to say, oh man, there's just so much work to do. I got to get rid of it. And I'm sitting here with a car that I start up and drive hundreds of miles every day, and it doesn't need any repairs. Okay? So you can do it. You can follow what I say, or you can sell your car and it's trash, but hey, and I spend a lot of time, effort, and money to keep it running, but I think I save a lot of money in the long run because I don't have a monthly car payment per se. Okay, after I get done paying Lou, it's all cash money after that. So I don't have to worry about making a car payment. And who doesn't like to have that car payment go into their savings account, right? Think about it. That's the way to do it. So anyway, not too much going on. I see a lot of different folks doing different things and trying to get some repairs done. Gosh, what else is going on here? Car-wise, edge-wise, they're not being really. I guess you can sort of order the ST right now, but they're really not any delivery dates or anything. Which, why would you order something you can't get? They don't even have a delivery date, I guess. So, but you can order them. They are available for ordering, I guess. Just delivery date isn't set. And it might be, word has it that they will start production and release October. So if you order them now, you'll probably be one of the first to get some of the first ones off the line. So that may be, what you want to do if you want to be the first one with the ST on the block, right? So that is one way to do it. You can do the pre-order now, and then once they say, hey, you're slated to do it, then I guess you pay for it, and then you got a car coming or whatever, whenever they deliver it or whatever the case may be. So that is one thing that you can do. So if you are really hoping to do that and you don't want to buy an 18, then go ahead and order that 19. And then you can tell me how the 8-speed transmission works, because I've never driven one, so we'll see how that works out. But that's what you can do and get things going that way. Yeah. Let's see, what else have I been doing? Well, I got test equipment I had to pick up. Went out and checked the air. And it's a funny thing. I was out there. Everybody always asks me, because I always walk around the office with the test equipment, using it inside the building. He always has this probe attached to the equipment and the pump running and this curly hose and all this other stuff. And they're like, oh gosh, what's Bill up to now? You're walking through the facility, checking air quality and everything else. And I told them today there's a whole bunch of mouth breathers inside the office. That's what I told them, because all the carbon dioxide was high. We all, when you work in an office, you gotta stop to think. The fresh air ain't really recycled very good, so all the carbon dioxide you're breathing out builds up inside the office to a certain point compared to what it is outside, because outside constantly has air blowing around, so the level's a lot lower. It's like 375, 500, something like that. But either way, it's a lot lower. And then when you go inside, it shoots up to, say, 1,000 or 1,500 parts per million carbon dioxide. because you're exhaling, and you might have 20 people working in cubicles, so they're all exhaling, and there ain't enough plants in the building to cover the carbon dioxide issue to absorb that. So therefore, you get higher carbon dioxide. Yeah, well, whatever works. Yeah, I mean, holy cow, I'm probably way over y'all's heads on some of this, but that's just my type of work, folks. That's what I do, and you know, I get the equipment like that and do testing. So there's a little bit about me, what I do for my job, and how I try to keep people safe and all this other stuff. But got some folks that are having issues that are in our group, and I want you all to pray for them, because they do need your help and support and your faith and hope as far as they go. So keep everybody in mind that people have problems. They have needs. We're all human. We treat each other nicely, and therefore it comes back on you 10 times over. So make sure you do help each other out. If somebody in the group needs some help and you are nearby, join up on MACT Garage on the Facebook page there, or not Facebook, MACTgarage.com. There is a map, and that map is designed to help connect people to help each other. Register yourself on that map. It just gives your state and city that you live in, and your name, and what type of edge you have. If you have the ability to help somebody out and they reach out to you, by all means, that's what I want you to do. It does not hurt to have humanity. So make sure that whatever you do, if you have it in your heart and soul to help people, then by all means help you. I would love to run around and just help people, but I have to work and make a living. But I do take opportunities to help people, and there are multiple people in this group that know that I have went and worked on their edges with them, or helped them with their edges, and done things for them, okay? And I ask nothing in return, okay? Although a pizza does help. yeah, my weak point. Everybody feeds me pizza when I work on their car. But anyway, that's what I want you guys to do. That's really what this whole group's about. So whatever you do, help each other. That's it. And with that being said, I think I'm going to be calling it a night here as far as talking with y'all. I'm glad you all jumped on here, and remember, as with all things, my feet hit the floor today, and I'm having a great day, and I want you to have a great day too. I'll throw a little bit of the band of one here on the YouTube channel later on. And that being said, Mercy Girl may toss a couple of one-liners out at you, but that is the MACT live for 2 August 2018. You all have a great evening.
Thank you for watching MACT's videos, and remember to like and subscribe. This is a Mercy Girl production.